Gigantic monstrous humanoids known as the Titans unexpectedly arrived over a century ago on the planet. Any person they could get their hands on served as food for them. There were no humans at the summit. Their numbers rapidly began to decline since they were no longer part of the food chain. Even though, because humanity had not developed a means of battling the Titans, many civilizations were destroyed. As a result, the human survivors constructed enormous encircling walls, higher than the Titans, encircling a territory to thwart the invasion. Two spherical barriers were built. The outside district was the term used for space, and the area within was known as the inner. They might live in peace behind those walls. The barriers did not provide security. Additionally, even after a century, the Titans are feared by everyone. A young guy called Eren Jaeger, a resident of the outlying area. He fantasia bouts about leaving the boundaries one day too. He routinely brags to his buddies about the outside world's seas and oceans, Mikasa and Armin. They choose to travel to the border one day and attempt to scale the wall to leap to the opposing side. The gang is astonished to see the enormity of the boundary when they get closer to it. Inside the wall, despite Armin and Mikasa's assertions that the Titans can still be victorious, Eren, though, maintains that no one has seen them in a century. And because there were no people around, they presumably perished. The gang is detained by border police because they believe they are too near to the wall. Eren was furious. With the police attempting to arrest his pals, he begins to fight them, utterly disregarding the Captain Suda approaches them at that moment and queries, forcing the warriors to submit. Sending the troops gone, he makes a personal commitment to getting revenge on the gang. Eren's longing for independence is understood by Suda, but she finds his behavior to be juvenile. He then tells the gathering about a military strategy for venturing beyond the fortifications. Eren doesn't need to worry about the government sending the military outside to assess the situation. Everyone is suddenly startled by a thunderous explosion. A seismic event. When it does, the earth starts to tremble. The wall shifts violently and the gang retreats. Then, on the other side, a huge Titan is seen. He starts with a loud shriek, stomping on the wall. The patrol policemen stand by in horror, unable to stop the beast. The Titan ultimately breaches the barrier and vanishes in a cloud of smoke. There is a brief period of silence. The populace then witnesses several such monsters invade the city. With cannonballs that hardly hurt the monsters, the troops engage them in combat. High regenerative abilities since the cannon's injuries heal very quickly. The troops are soon surrounded by the Titans, who begin to eat them one by one. Even a soldier commits, choosing suicide over being murdered by the monsters. Everyone begins to flee. The Titans are destroying homes and grabbing as many people as they can as they fight for their life, while Eren and Mikasa are running in the direction of the town church. Mikasa spots a little kid lying on the ground in danger of being trampled by the oncoming mob. She departs to protect the infant but loses Eren in the process. Eren has pulled along into the church, but the members immediately lock the door to prevent anybody else from entering. Get in. Eren observes his closest buddy being approached by a woman from the window of the church. Titan with menacing fangs. Mikasa lowers her head as she realizes there is no way to rescue herself at this point. Recognizing her destiny, a sudden loud explosion knocks everyone backward within the church. Eren glances outside once again, but neither Mikasa nor Titan is to be seen. Mikasa's former house was discovered while hunting for him among the rubble of the city. When Eren turns around, he witnesses the creatures decapitating and consuming everyone within the cathedral. Walks aimlessly across the devastated city. Take place 2 years later. Those who survive, the inner district has been the site of past Titan attacks. Currently, the military is preparing to obtain the rear of the outskirts. After the outer one's lush farmland was abandoned, food shortages began to kill people. Their last chance of surviving is to seize control of the surrounding area and fix the damaged wall. The commander of the armed forces, Kubble. He addresses the troops with a moving speech before inviting Hans onto the platform. She is the commander of the troops' weapon. Hans shows off a brand new omnidirectional mobility device. However, she unintentionally attacks her people. Then, Eren and Armin appear among the soldiers. It turns out that they both made it through the assault 2 years ago and have since enlisted. Eren desires justice for the Titans for murdering Mikasa, the lady he loved. Despite surviving the assault, Captain Suda has lost his living will. He is now an alcoholic and a food distributor in the army. When the Titans are sleeping at night, raid the outlying district. No more Titans may enter the city since it is where the Titans intruded. They may then execute the survivors and reclaim their district. Hans requests that everyone go quietly and gently, as noises are heard by the creatures. The district's outside entrance opens, and military vans are used by the army when it leaves. As the troops methodically scan the area, they only see cows wandering the city. Hyana, one of them, hears a baby screaming and chooses to look into it. Her life is in peril. Eren pursues the girl, and they both find themselves inside a demolished structure. Suddenly, Hyana is covered in a slimy substance. The two gaze up in horror as they see a huge infant titan devouring a person. The infant squats down in front of the two and begins to sob. They flee outdoors in terror. The troops, but the captain commands everyone to remain calm and not. Unexpectedly, a large hand reaches out and snatches the captain. The troops are in grave danger now that the Titans have awakened. Eren and Hyana rush the crowd, while a huge creature pursues them. They begin to return to their cars, but Commander Kubble stops them. Rushes off with the car and the guns after recognizing the threat. Hans from inside the car invites the group to meet in a nearby abandoned building. But before they can flee, they are encircled by the Titans. When suddenly, they are devoid of all hope. Shikishima, a Titan slayer and commander of the scout regiment, arrives. He swings something about. Must hit the Titans' vulnerable area behind their section to kill them mid-air. There is a woman in Shikishima. A talented partner likes him. Eren at last sees Shikishima's acquaintance for the first time and is astonished beyond belief to learn that she is Mikasa. The troops then pursue the two as they make their way to the building commander. Apparently, Shikishima was given the task of aiding him. Mikasa's life was spared by Shikishima that day, who even instructed her on how to combat the Titans. Since then, they have been cohabiting in a home and working as partners. Mikasa has seen life's terrible realities and doesn't want to be associated with them. Later, one of the soldiers accuses Eren of luring the attention of the Titans early and endangering everybody's lives. The two argue but are soon separated. Mikasa quickly came to a halt. Eren's name is inquired about, and Shikishima demonstrates his authority by bringing Eren to speak privately with him. Eren expresses to Shikishima his desire to learn to murder the Titans and attributes their capture to the monsters. Shikishima mocks him and asserts that humanity, not the Titans, entrapped themselves. After Eren, Shikishima challenges him to overcome his anxieties and take on the Titans for his freedom even if he denies being one. Then, when Eren goes in search of Mikasa, he discovers her playing a broken piano. She claims that she changed and became someone else when the infant she was watching over passed away. Then Mikasa displays a bite mark on her body. Shikishima interrupts them, who, in an act of affectionate feeding, hands Mikasa an apple. Eren flees, broken-hearted, outdoors and cries out in pain. He merely wanted to get revenge on the Titans' only one and only love. Just then, Hyana goes over to soothe Eren. The two enter the building again and begin conversing while a couple makes out next to them. When Hyanna tells Eren that her daughter is back in the inner city, she then pushes herself on Eren and attempts to seduce him. However, they are stopped as a huge eye appears. Looks out the window at them. Hyanna is abruptly dragged by his mouth. Leaving them little time to reflect, Eren observes as the monster consumes his companion. Additional titans approach the structure. Mikasa, Shikishima, and other troops dressed in their protective gear and combat the titans along with Mikasa. Shikishima kills the majority of them. Commander Kubble requests that everyone guard them to help them ultimately defeat the titans. In the meanwhile, the couple that was having an intimate moment is assaulted, and the male perishes in the conflict. The lady, who is crushed by the loss of her beloved, swears to get revenge on the killer. Then, we see a person loading the bomb into a car and leaving. Who had lost her beloved decides to make a sacrifice by stomping on the car and lighting the. She grabs the wheel and heads in the direction of the Titan who murdered her boyfriend. The explosion blows apart the Titan's legs as she collides with him. Function as the Titan's legs swiftly regenerate. Weak point: Eren is still at the top of the structure and hasn't assisted others. He employs the springs to assault them after recalling Shikishima's prior remarks. But with a little help from Shikishima, he succeeds in making his first kill. He then loses his equilibrium. Eren's leg is amputated by the Titan. As Armin is attempting to flee, a Titan suddenly grabs hold of him. The others attempt to help. As the Titan prepares to devour him, Eren whimpers in agony but continues to attempt to assist. Keeping it open, Armin is spared just before he would have fallen into the monster's neck. Eren, however, falls inside the Titan's belly in the process. He is lying there among a number of the dead. Hyanna was one of the corpses. Mikasa and the others are on a rooftop, mentioned Eren's passing to her. Mikasa cannot conceal her sadness and cannot help but show it. She rushes toward herself toward the Titans in a fit of rage, killing every single one of them. However, midway through, her gasoline runs out, causing her to crash to the ground. The Titan that previously devoured Eren approaches. Mikasa is prepared to murder her. But then, out of the creature's mouth, a hand appears. He soon explodes, exposing another Titan inside of him. Kills his kind one by engaging in combat. No, Eren is the true new Titan. The Titan moves closer after murdering everyone. The structure firmly. Eren is murdering everyone in the area and seems to have forgotten who he is. Except for Mikasa, who yells Eren's name, the troops flee in terror. He doesn't pause before grabbing her. He slowly remembers her as he gazes at her and starts to identify Mikasa. Then, like the other Titans, he collapses to the ground dead and begins to vanish. The beast is cut apart by Mikasa, revealing the human Eren within. I'm to everyone's surprise, the creature's ability to regenerate let him reattach his leg. Eren slowly regains consciousness as the last Titan